Man, isn't that smooth? Listen, Kirk Nugent has me looking like a G. So I want to, as I get started, say thank you so much, Kirk Nugent, and to his team for an incredible job. And oh man, I'm just so grateful to work with them. Happy Friday, everybody. It is the weekend. Woo! Thank you, Jesus. And it is also time for us to push those clocks forward. Sunday time changes. And we are going to be moving into spring soon. And let me tell you, I am so grateful. Anybody grateful for warmer weather, more sunshine, more sunlight? Longer days. Thank you, Jesus, for longer days. And so I am just so excited, so grateful that we are going into the spring. Oh my goodness. How you doing, Miss Tamika from the Bahamas? Anybody else want to say hi? Happy Friday to you. I would love to see where you're coming from. I am Lola Moore Johnston, my Bloom coach across all social media platforms. And I am the creator, the visionary of the Bloom movement. How you doing, Miss Eartha? Happy Friday to you. Oh, Miss Tamika, we're going to get you settled and straightened out with the conference for sure. You have to be a part. I found out today that almost 200 people are registered for our conference, and I am so excited. But I know that there's so many more people who need to be a part of this conference. Man, let me just go ahead and throw this up here before somebody run off on me. We are having a 1-day virtual transformational conference called Bloom in a Day. And you need to be there. Man, you can register at bloomday.lolajohnston.com. Let me put that up because some people were putting up what they thought it was. They were adding some dots and things like that. But we want to make sure you have the right address. It is bloomday.lolajohnston.com. In fact, I'm going to put it in the comments now so that you got it. And you can go right there right now, Miss Tamika, and sign up. Oh my goodness. I am so excited for you guys to come. This conference is going to be amazing and you don't want to miss it. In fact, if you have a homegirl, a friend that you know needs to be a part of this conference, go ahead and invite them as well. And we are going to have a great and a blessed time in God, man. So I wanted to just come on today and share with you one thing that occurred to me today, right? It was this idea that came to my mind. No FOMO, FOMO, no FOMO. And when it came up for me, I was kind of thinking of a lot of stuff. I tend to be a person who overcommits. So I rarely look at my calendar before I say yes to stuff. I'm learning now to tell people I have to consult my calendar, but I have in the past just jumped and said yes to everything. And you know, that's a recipe for disaster. So I have found myself overbooked, double booked. One time or two, I was triple booked and had to, at the last moment, scramble to either find a way to be in multiple places in one time slot or to then help other people to assume those pieces. But I realized today that FOMO has some tentacles in us that will cause us to miss out on real blessings. So let's talk about what FOMO is. FOMO, fear of missing out. Have you ever had that sensation that makes you feel that even though you have something that you are doing right now, or you may not have anything on your calendar right now, but you see something else going on, or you see someone else in another space, and you have a fear that something is going to be unredeemable if you're not a part of it. I remember being younger and just feeling like if I wasn't at this concert, if I wasn't at that party, if I was not a part of this opportunity, that all was lost. And I realized that even like 4 decades later, I still find myself struggling with FOMO. And more often than not, I have a belief internally that there's something that is wrong or broken about me if I'm not a part of everything. Now, you know, you don't have to ask your pastor about it. I'll talk about you as a or talk about it as a pastor myself. That there are times where these flyers come out through social media, and there are times where I'll look at the lineup and wonder, well, why didn't they ask me? Now, there's been a couple of times I had to laugh because they did ask me, but I couldn't do it. But, you know, you see other people who have an opportunity. You have other people who are a part of a stage or a part of an outlet, and you find yourself feeling like maybe you're not worthy, maybe you're not loved, perhaps you're not good, perhaps you don't belong in this space because you have not been invited to everything. And so I want to say that FOMO right now, especially here in the pandemic, is causing many of us to experience a level of depression that simply comes from covetousness, from wanting something that someone else has. So rooted in social media, when we look through and we see that this person has finally gotten a man and I have not, or as now a person who's been married for a few years, a person is pregnant now and they're, you know, expanding their family and I am not. Or a person has gotten a new job, a new responsibility, a bigger church, and I have not. We find ourselves looking at other people's lives through this lens of this social media, you know, perspective. And we have a whole commentary on ourselves, believing that somehow we are not worthy, we are not loved, we're not good because we're not in those spaces. Thank you so much. Dale says he's been there. Let me tell you, it is real where we find ourselves coveting other people. And I have had experiences with people, and I know I have not had an argument with them. I know that I haven't stolen none of their man. I ain't stole their clothes. I haven't stolen any money from them, but I recognize later on through one conversation or another that they don't like me because they are upset about a space that I have occupied that they wanted to be in. But let's just go ahead and keep it 360, because there are some other people who I have been jealous of, who I've seen their experiences and their gifts and everything like that. And I'm looking at them like, well, who are they? And who do they think they are? When we are not careful and introspective, we can find ourselves allowing FOMO, fear of missing out, to cause us to be miserable in life. And so I wanted to talk about that today on this Friday as we go into a day of rest. Maybe we could lay FOMO down, right? So first of all, fear of missing out will cause us to take on too many responsibilities. So we already have a full slate of things that we've been called to do, of places that we're responsible to, but because we're afraid that someone will not ask us again, because we're afraid that somehow the party will go on without us, because we're afraid that they will recognize that they can do this without us, it will cause us to take on too much. And so oftentimes we find ourselves juggling. If we deal with FOMO, we can find ourselves juggling all of these different responsibilities. And let's be real, some of the stuff I have signed up for and allowed FOMO to push me out there too. I'm like, why am I here? What am I doing this for? And I wind up being miserable in the moment. Yes, I'm on the flyer. Yes, I'm at the event, but I don't care anything about this event. I don't care. I don't have a message that it's not, you know, pressing a burden in me. I'm just here because I was just happy to be asked. And how many times have we found ourselves in these places where we have committed to stuff? I mean, we have committed to these things in places or in times where we literally don't have any passion for it. We don't have any drive for it. We don't have a call for it. FOMO will cause you to overcommit. And we want to get through that, right? Secondly, FOMO, fear of missing out, for those who are just joining us this afternoon, will cause us to actually neglect the obligations we already have. So watch this. We can be so caught up in what's happening in other people's lives, in the things that other people have had the opportunity to do, looking over their shoulder and wishing that we were them or in their spaces, that we do not even take care of the stuff that we have been given. We're not good to our kids. We're not good to our spouse. We're not cleaning our house. We're not dealing with our stuff. We, not even servicing our cars. We so busy looking at other people's stuff. And so FOMO will cause us to actually neglect what we do have, what we do have, the opportunities that we have. But I have learned that when I am a good steward of my own opportunities, when I am a good steward of where I am, then when it's time, then I'll be able to move forward. I believe it's E. Dewey Smith that says, if I stay small enough, long enough, then soon enough, I'll get big enough. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you recognize that if you are good in the spaces that you have, that you actually own, the things that you're actually called to, that soon enough, you'll be promoted if you are faithful. And then finally, I want to say that FOMO is rooted in insecurity, and it is a thief of joy. And listen, I want to say this prophetically to somebody. Your spouse is not ugly. Your kids are not ugly. You just have not learned to be content with what you have. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad there's 17 people on here. If you need to share, go ahead and share. Somebody needs to hear about FOMO, fear of missing out. And I want to tell you today that this fear of missing out has some people believing that their house is dilapidated and terrible, that it's too small. It's causing you to go out there and spend money that you don't have, credit cards that are just crying because that limit is being violated, and you're doing all of these things in order to try to feel like you are in or that you are worthy of different spaces. But that fear of missing out is a thief. It is rooted in insecurity. It is rooted in the fact that you don't feel good about yourself, and so you're trying to make yourself feel more secure by having something else. And I want to let you know that having more money does not cure fear of missing out. That having a better looking spouse does not cure fear of missing out. There are people who have millions of dollars, but who are miserable because they want to be with someone, or they want to have tens of millions of dollars. There was a survey that was conducted with millionaires. They had single digit millionaires and multimillionaires. And when each of them were asked, how much money would it require for you to be content at every level, whether or not they were a single digit millionaire, or if they were in the multimillionaire or septenary, I think that's what they call it when it's like the multi seven figures. Each one of them said that they would need 10 times more money in order to be happy. So that means that whether or not they had 1 million or 100 million, they could even be on the brink of $1 billion. But all of them said that they would need 10 times more money in order to be content, which tells me that the amount of the money in my bank does not cure this. The way that my spouse looks does not cure this. How much I does not cure this. My having a certain amount of children does not cure this. The only way for me to cure fear of missing out is for me to learn to be content with what I have, to enjoy my little piece of the pie, and to not desire another piece unless it is owed to me. Now let's talk about it. Sometimes you are working and you may have goals. Yes, you are reaching for more. You are working for more. And indeed, if you are working for more, if you have a goal, then reach for that. But I'm talking about people who will look at their piece of pie that they're eating and then watch another person down the street eating a piece of pie and say, I want that piece too. That will drive you crazy, and you will find yourself being miserable in your life and unable to enjoy anything. We have to learn to be content. Contentment means that I am in the space that I am supposed to be in at the time where I am supposed to be here with the people who are supposed to be here with me, and I would not have it any other way. I am here in the place where I'm supposed to be with the possessions that I am supposed to have, and I would not have it any other way. And how many tens of millions of dollars would we save in annual revenue if we just learn how to be where we are and to be content? Listen, many of us can be free on this Sabbath to come if we simply made a decision to be content where we are. I am good. I'm good. I'm going to work hard at the job that I have. And when it's time for me to be promoted, I am good. I'm going to enjoy my little lunch with my husband in our home. I am good. I want to encourage you that we can overcome FOMO this weekend. We can overcome FOMO in our lives. We don't have to live under the fear of missing out, because that fear is a thief and a robber in our lives. I want to say I want to help. And I have an event that is coming up that I believe would be a blessing to you. It is the Bloom in a Day free transformational summit. Is featuring Alicia Jones, who has lost 80 pounds using a plan that the Lord gave her. And now she is helping dozens of women to lose hundreds of pounds as well. Sarah McDougall, who is formerly a marketing executive, but now an advocate for those who are going through loss and who are experiencing abuse at the hands of religious leaders. She is going to be talking to us about her business, and she's going to talk to us about how we can use our voices to advocate for others as well. Cheryl Pullins is a marketing strategist. She is the owner of Iconic Branding, and she's going to come telling us her story of overcoming and share with us how we can make an iconic brand as well. And Mignon Francois, who, thank you, Jesus, she is one of my former church members at the Riverside Chapel Church in Nashville. But I remember the day when she gave her testimony that the Lord had taken her from baking cupcakes in her house to now owning a $10 million cupcake empire, both in Nashville and New Orleans, and probably coming to a city near you. You do not want to miss this event. It is completely and totally free, and you can register by going to bloomday.lolajohnston.com. I'm going to put it in the chat one more time so that it was not misconstrued, but you can register there. We are having it on March the 21st. 2021. Can you believe it? Oh my goodness. 2021. I needed to spell my last name. And it'll be from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's completely and totally free, and I would love to have you there. Look, if you want to find me, you can find me across all social media platforms at My Bloom Coach. I would love for you to go to my YouTube channel, My Bloom Coach, and subscribe. And please, if you've already registered, go ahead and share this with a friend. We would love to have you. And so I want to say to those who are Sabbath keepers, happy Sabbath to you. For those who are on this beautiful planet of ours, we are so grateful to open up spring in the next few days. And I believe that we can bloom together. So I want you to make sure to register for that conference, and let us make it up in our minds that we're going to live the best life that we can in this lifetime. Thank you so much, and we will see you again next week. All right, y'all, take care. We'll talk to you later.